Sanbonani and welcome to Initiating Insight with Sibongile. It's been a minute, huh? A lot has happened. A lot has happened. So much on my mind. People who really know me know Uguti. I've been wanting to do this since a long time ago. I want us to talk about GBV, one of the children I look after, Uti. Government-based violations. No, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about GBV, gender-based violence. Because the former is another story for another day, and I feel we've spoken about it so many times, especially in the new era of Initiating Insight and with what we are dealing now that has actually started to carve our lives, change our lives, and define our lives, as it were. Some of the videos, I call it Kodev. If you're not sure where you are as far as that is concerned by now, it's another story for another day. We are talking about gender-based violence, and as we know it, when we talk about gender-based violence, we talk about men violating women and children. We never speak about what men go through. We talk about, as such, actually, this gender-based violence narrative has sort of defined what a man is versus a woman, has sort of separated a man from a woman. And mina ngihlale ngisho ukuthi kahle kahle siyafana, all of us, men and women, siyafana. If you're going to say to me, men cheat, who do they cheat with? If you say women cheat or ifebe, bafeba nabo bani? And so those are the things that, and if you say women are angry, why are they angry? If men are angry, why are they angry? And so today we grow up in a society that empowers women. Some of the things that I'm going to talk about, I have spoken about in my previous episodes. Some go as far back as 2017, when we spoke even about feminism, and we talk about women empowerment. We have this society that cultures women into being these strong, independent women who are empowered. And when we talk about women empowerment, we're talking about a woman being able to pay their bills, a woman being able to have their house and car and money, and that's it. And then what? And when we talk about men, real men, we are talking about men who have cars, houses, and money, and then what? At the end of the day, you find those two people who are empty. And on the other hand, you also have a woman that is empowered, a woman that is spoken to by elderly women, yala as they get married, and this idea that women must be strong to determine their worth is terrible. Because there you are, you're training women who must be wise and strong for men who have no clue. Men who think that for them to be real men, they must be domineering over these women. You must listen to them. And that's what our society says a man is. And so when we talk about GBV, then we don't address issues like this. And I got irritated. Lately, there's a video of a guy going with this buffoonery of an analogy that says, there's gender-based violence. You never look at the problem and how men are also abused by women. If umuntu sifazane, a woman slaps me, then when I take a gun and shoot at her, then it's a problem. I'm the one who is crucified. Of course you'll be crucified. I mean, come on. Compare a slap and a gun. So when a gun. I mean, really. A slap versus a gun. Really. And you tell me come on. And for me, I'm thinking we've spoken so much about symptoms rather than speaking about the root cause of the problem. And I'm saying you have men who grow up with anger. Women are also growing up with anger based on our backgrounds, our environments. And even now, mostly our environment is not conducive enough for us to thrive as the people we are supposed to be. So there are a lot of things at play here that we need to look at. It's not just about a man hitting a woman hitting a man. It's not just about where is it all coming from. We need to deal with GBV from that point of view from now on. And if you think that perhaps I'm talking about things that are too big, that are over my head, okay, help me now. Whatever that has happened right now, is it helping us now? Is it helping us? So at least I'm thinking we should begin to have conversations like that where is it coming from? Because there you have a man who grows up seeing his father hit his mother. There a man, all they know is that when a woman disagrees with him, he must just hit him. And a woman must just keep quiet and shut up and listen to this man. And you call that a relationship. And there you have this woman who grows up not knowing how to treat a man because there's not a man in her home. Again, you also have this woman who grew up with both parents, a man who has loved his wife, and this woman sees this and she thinks, this is the kind of man I want. And she goes out there, there can only be one of her father. And in a body like the men that she meets are not like her father. And then how does she respond to that situation? Because she's frustrated. She's saying, this is not what I saw my mother. This is not how I saw my mother treated. She was treated better than this. How does she respond to that? And so I'm saying, when we get into relationships, we need to understand that we are all sick. We all have problems. We all have environment. We all come from environment that have been sick for years, for centuries, for decades. And for us, we need to come into a relationship and speak to each other and understand where do you come from. Let's see your closet. How many are your skeletons? How big are your skeletons? And I open my closet. How many are your skeletons? How big are your skeletons? Where do we? And when you meet somebody, you must meet somebody when you are prepared to heal. And I'm talking to people who can think. Initiating Insight with Sibongile advocates firstly for the freedom of the mind. And the problem even with GBV is that the problems that we encounter are in our mind. The chains that chain us, that entangle us are in our mind. We suffer from psychological problems because even the way that we view things, it's in the mind. But the day we free our minds, we will be a better society. We can begin to heal. So if you're going to go into a relationship and think that you want to project your anger onto the next person, you want the other person to, you don't want to listen. You need to begin to negotiate and say, this is how I am wired. This is how I view things. Can we come together? How do you view things? Can we come together and agree as to how we want to forge going forward for the next generations to come and create a legacy for our children or the next generations to come? Can we get to that point where we're saying, you know what, everything that we have done, having cars, having jobs, traveling all over the world, having everything else that you need has not helped us, has not helped change the price of bread, has not helped come up with solutions where when we don't have electricity, what do we do to get electricity other than just your normal alternatives? When we don't have water, how do we create water? There's a lot that we can do as people, as persons, as abantu. There's a lot that we can do other than just acquiring things when we are actually empty and we don't even know what to do with those things. If we are living for power, for empowerment, for having things and acquiring things, then I don't think that we understand what life is all about. So today, I just wanted to give that foundation. I just wanted to throw those ideas and say, let's begin to have those convos where we can actually be true to ourselves and begin to say we need to begin to heal ourselves and heal our families and heal our societies. That GBV is not just about the other person violating the other person. Can we begin to heal? Can we and can we begin to heal and say, where can we begin to help? And don't just take women away from men because they are in danger from men. Don't just take men and have men shelters and have women shelters. How are these shelters helping these people? How are they helping these people? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You need to go to a place of safety when you are in danger. And I'm not saying, and I'm not watering it down at all to say that men have not been violating women. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I appreciate the scourge. I appreciate that it has been really bad. Women have been killed by men. Equally so, there are men who have been killed by women. And for that matter, even women kill their own children, and fathers kill their own children. I am saying, in all these problems that we encounter, can we begin to sit down and actually say, what can we do that we have not done already that can help us solve these problems, that can help us come together and heal as people? Initiating Insight with Sibongile. Until next time, give me your comments. Let's talk about this. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe if you like. Until next time.